Correct.
Gotta get your hair right.
Get a makeup room.
Hey, yo.
Let me know when you're ready to go on stream.
All right.
What is happening here? You should just have
We
a
are live.
completely black screen.
You
what
only
you
saw a
should do.
black screen? I put up the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Oh, the all black thumbnail.
Well, he was falling in line with the theme.
I can't be a part of this, man. I seen the thumbnail when you first put it up. What did I do? I was like, yikes. What are you doing? Two white guys. What are you kidding me? Huh?
Oh, we should have opened up with the DC Talk thing when they were on Arsenio Hall. When they had "We're two hunks and a Negro singing a song."
You can say that. I can't say that.
Oh, funniest thing. DC Talk
We
on
could be like
Arsenio Hall.
celebrating Black History Month, but no, we're all things black. And it's the white dude that brings it up. And Vic's like, I'm cool with it. So that's my problem. I think it's my problem.
Well, you see, I'm also more of a nuanced guy too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand that there's fake racism and real racism. That there's real issues and fake issues.
Fake racism and there's real racism.
So I hope that's.
Hey guys, I'm the fake racist.
No, but I did get, I went and got approval from my crew of black.
Your friend, your black friend,
half of them.
I was gonna say you got the other guy. It's driving me crazy. What's his name? Terry.
Oh, your friends.
We need to have Terry come back.
Terry would only come on because he wouldn't come on for me.
That's
he probably
would. He doesn't need me. He would just be talking the whole show.
Good morning, Unruly Simeon.
Good morning, Unruly.
Comic Kid 84 is a good time streaming
Clobberin
last night on the Biggie Shack show.
Yes.
C. Woodard, fellow Hoosier, good to see you.
C. Wood.
Thanks for Marvel. Thanks for coming and hanging out, man. Unruly says, I certainly feel comfortable discussing racial issues in today's calm, rational times. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so upset.
I had to find 3 new churches. No. Morning,
Gore.
Do people think I'm upset all the time when I'm ranting? Is that it? Am I an upset guy? Upset Al. Okay. Well, let me tell you what I think. No.
Let me turn my phone down so I don't get fined.
Ben Compton.
Straight
out of Ben Compton.
Ben born and raised.
There you go. A couple middle-aged white guys. We're bound to say something wrong. That's all I'm going to say. Viewer discretion is advised. We're going to say something that is not correct. And then,
Hey, at least we won't say anything like,
I can say this. I have a black friend.
Americans do.
I'm here to talk about the work in front of us, the characters in front of us, and we're showing excellence here. So it's not that they have Black History Month just so we have just kind of put in our mindset to every once in a while think about this kind of thing and kind of praise the greatness that's out there. So
I thought it was just so we can learn about George Washington Carver, Harriet Tubman, and Martin Luther King.
And Malcolm X? Or do they not talk about Malcolm X?
They don't talk about Malcolm X.
There's only one.
Great book, though.
There's only one black character on there. It's Black Panther. If you include, if that's James Rhodes under there, maybe. That might be.
But you got the green guy on
He's
there.
my Iron Man.
There's
what?
Some variety of color.
Yeah,
celebrate color, man.
The green people, they have their savior. The yellow people, they had their savior. Or the people were the red people. They had
the yellow people.
The orange people.
The orange people.
Watch out. This is a whole nother form of racism.
That stack over there.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna dye my
Green Lantern doesn't care about black folks.
a color no one has, so then I can be offended when people say,
But don't worry, Vic
You know.
C cares if no one else does.
okay, guys, let's get to the point. Let's talk
All right.
about, let's celebrate
Sam.
Black creators, characters, and pop culture. Let's
All
do
right.
it.
Cool.
That's what we should have called this, Black pop culture. That would probably been even worse. Celebrating Black Clobberin time. That would have been got us kicked off.
Black pop culture coming to a white community sitting near you. Because y'all do like the co-op
Don't
stuff.
worry, we'll steal it. Yay! Give it to us. No, I'm all about. Ooh, I like it. You know when you go out to eat with some friends and they're like, "Oh, you got to try this. Try this." That's what it is, man. I love that. You know. I mean, sure.
That
we'll end up
happens with my white friends. But my black friends, like, I got mine because I wanted mine.
Well, I'm not. Yeah. Well, let's see. I go. I'm using Terry too. I get to use Terry. He's the one that started it with me. Like, oh, try this, try this. Him and his lovely wife Leah. Like, it's just, I don't see. This is what I don't like. It's like, oh, I can talk about my black friend now or my black friends now because we're on a show. Okay. Co-opted by the white community. Yes. We're co-opting this. How about Black co-opted culture? That's what it is.
I mean, we did just see Eminem rapping at halftime.
Diversity.
Yeah, I mean, at one point in life, what was it? The best golfer in the world was black, and the best rapper was white.
That's you're shutting the door. Like, it's got to swing both ways. We can't be like, oh, well, he stole this from us or whatever. It's always
I'm all for community. I'm all for interacting with the racists.
And that is why
racist.
I want to. Okay, what are we starting off here, Coach?
Let's start out with characters.
Characters.
Yeah,
Never heard of them.
All right.
You don't have any favorite characters. Who's your favorite character?
I mean, I could say Black Panther, but that's based totally on the movie.
That's okay. Let's divide. We can divide this up. We can say my favorite black character in the movies and entertainment is this, and then the one in the comics is this.
Even though I really like Sam Wilson in the TV show, but my comic book character, I mean, and this is going to.
Does it got to be comic book character, or are we just characters? Pop culture characters, right?
Yeah, we'll do both.
Oh,
cartoons too.
Comic book.
Who you got?
Well, for a comic or just everywhere, let's see, you just expand.
Maybe we should save the actual black guy for the finish, and then we don't feel bad. We're like, I like this guy, and then we can look at Coach and see if it's okay that we like that.
All right, yeah, you go first then.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. When I grew up, I was growing up. I gee whiz, there wasn't many like powerful black characters.
They either made them too powerful, so they can only use them every now and then.
Yeah, my first superhero have to be James Rhodes when he was Iron Man. But guess what? I didn't like him being Iron Man because, it's Tony Stark. So this is really I'm having a breakthrough here.
He became Iron Man?
Yeah, he took this is their lesson. Okay, so he started off as his pilot, right? And then he Tony Stark became an alcoholic, and so he took over for Tony Stark for a good section of the 80s. Mm-hmm. He was the Iron Man in the Secret Wars comic book.
Okay.
So technically the action figure that came out should have been James Rhodes, but it was Tony Stark because the shield, the tentacular, that was of Tony Stark, but it should have been James Rhodes. So whitewashing once again, folks. They took back, but I have to say that, and then I always like Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart, of course. We didn't have many like positive black heroes. And Luke Cage, I didn't really get into.
Right. Like I love Luke Cage, which I saw him on the TV show. I'm just like, that's the man right there. I gotta learn more about him.
I did more cartoons. There's more cartoon characters, you know. But really, I guess if I was gonna pull it out of a hat, I'd have to be, I guess, Jon Stewart. You know, GL Jon Stewart, and he had great art. He had his comic book run when he took over officially in the '80s. Yeah, well, that's Neil Adams, but it was Dave Gibbons that did his when Hal Jordan quit for the 80th time and Jon Stewart took over. So that was like right in Crisis. That's what I remember. I think that's what I remember the most was the Crisis. I had the Crisis issue where it was like, wait a minute, that's not, you know. And I used to love the ads, but you know, if you can go, Dave Gibbons did most of the artwork for the Green Lantern, which blows my mind now.
Right.
Oh, and I think looking through the Who's, the original DC's Who's, they had a character that I'd never seen before. His name was Gravedigger. He was like a World War II character, you know. So if you've ever heard of him, I think he was either World War II or he was Vietnam. Sure. Al was a whiny man.
Well, you know, you mentioned DC. One thing I noticed about DC, first of all, their roster is deep. I don't know why they can't come out with a comic book other than Batman.
Because they don't sell.
Because I've been watching
They don't sell.
Is it the Justice League? No, Young Justice. Young Justice. Is that the cartoon?
That's the cartoon, yeah.
Yeah, Young Justice. And they just keep peppering everybody in. They bring out Icon, Rocket. I mean, Aqualad was leading the game for a while.
Cyborg.
Cyborg.
I love Cyborg. The original Perez Cyborg. Yeah, I think he would have. See, this is the problem: is you don't have many to choose from my era. That's why it's great that there's more coming out now. You know. But
that's the thing that we were talking about earlier.
Biggie likes Steel.
Shaq gets Steel Justice.
Oh.
Well, that's one thing that Jamie and I were talking about one time about comic book characters, about like how much when I read Ironheart, I loved Ironheart because it was like a new character that I connected with culturally, because they really kept it culturally sound. And I'm curious if the TV show is going to do that, because you know they talked about Jay-Z. I mean, it was in Chicago, South Side. It was really good, and unlike Luke Cage, she got to leave Chicago. You know, there's a comedian talking about how there's so much. Luke Cage has so much work to do in Harlem, he never gets to leave Harlem. But the thing I liked about Ironheart is it's like somebody new and fresh, but they just don't know how to make new and fresh characters things staying power. I mean,
what about Static? Static was doing that. A lot of the Milestone
Static.
They did all that stuff, man. They were culturally relevant then. They were talking about it then. But you know, the thing is, the problem with that is that's always been, as much as it's revered, it's always still been side note. You know, it's on the side. It's not like this. He's with Superman because he is like Icon. He's Superman. He's like, and so it's like, hey, over there, buddy. It's like Martian Manhunter. Like, even though Martian Manhunter's been around a long time, Captain Marvel to Shazam, they've been around a long time. They're still just like, there's Superman number 5, you know. So creating.
I love Icon. I mean, you look at Icon. He chose to be black, and then he became a conservative. That's the correct word to use. And it's just interesting the relationship he has with Rocket, because Rocket is not. And Rocket keeps him in line, and it's just a good back and forth in the midst of, you know, solving crime.
Okay, so New World Order.
I recommend the new Icon and Rocket. If you haven't, I'm pretty sure you can get it, because, you know,
the new one
selling out.
What is it? Oh yeah, I got the new ones. I bought the new ones. I got the old ones too. But yeah, he says first Panther, then Brother Voodoo, then Miles. Now I gotta say, can we like the original Brother Voodoo? Can
Well, they
we?
call him Doctor Voodoo now.
What?
Brother
He
Voodoo.
got a degree?
Brother Voodoo rolls off the tongue better. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
I like that. So that's another white guy going, oh no, we can say that. That's the problem. It's mainly dudes like
So we
me
can
going,
call him Brother
"Ooh,
Voodoo and not get in trouble.
Why not?
I don't know.
Why not? That's his name.
See, I think it
I'd love to say
depends.
that.
Everybody's specking on Brother Voodoo or Doctor Voodoo, whatever, now because they expect him to show up in a movie, and now we're distracted by seeing a silhouette of a character in an energy field that we can't understand. So everybody's like, they're ignoring that whole aspect now. But
Yeah. That's why I need to
Yeah,
show
what
up in
about
movies,
Blade?
Bishop.
so
Cyborg.
Cyborg was always my favorite
Yeah.
because I was a
Like
huge Teen Titans fan.
early Titans, they lost him as they went on, but
Oh yeah, once they put him in the superpowers show, I was like, that's not quite a fit, but I understood what they were
I
doing.
think once they changed his outfit, he yeah,
So yeah, Jon Stewart,
Jon
much
Stewart.
respect for that guy.
See?
And for me, the big moment for Jon Stewart is in Cosmic Odyssey, where he's starts out as a braggart and gets his gets corrected. I guess it's knocked down a few pegs.
And you know where Cyborg really shines, and this is where you guys hate me. In Smallville.
Get out of my face.
Get off my lawn.
I'll be happy once we live in a world of unity of people not giving a damn about Smallville.
I really has my back.
Stealth is probably my favorite modern character. This is a series that kind of flew under a bunch of radars. It's like you take Iron Man and combine Iron Man and Batman and stuff about kind of dementia and stuff like that. It's a real interesting story.
Yeah. And aren't they supposed to be making a TV show about that or a movie about that?
It's one of those. It got optioned.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
We're the only ones that bit. Thank God we did.
It wasn't that pricey though.
No.
And then as far as like storylines for me, it was this Black Panther run from under the Marvel Knights banner.
Yeah.
See,
I got a question. If you were going to do a variant, if say that there was going to be a Black Panther variant popping up in Doctor Strange 2, who would you get? Not Michael B. Jordan, but who would you get to be the variant?
Oh, that's easy.
Who?
Stringer Bell. Idris Elba.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he would be pretty cool. That would be a damn good. Yeah, he would.
Is this one I
But
should
I'm going
last again?
Man, I can't. Mine sounds stupid now because I'm going off of the fact that they might have Tom Cruise, and I'm like thinking 80s, 90s guy, and I was like thinking if the first guy that was going to be Black Panther was going to be Wesley Snipes, but if Wesley Snipes shows up and he's not Blade, people are going to revolt. Okay, I think if they could get Denzel Washington to be Black Panther, that'd be some smoothness right there.
Yeah.
Before Idris Elba, there was Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
so as far as black characters in movies, Blade was probably my favorite portrayal. Again, I appreciate movies where I don't have like a real strong attachment necessarily to the characters going in, because they tend not to disappoint me like X-Men movies.
Hey, I don't do horror movies, but I like Blade.
Don't get the voodoo hype. Oh, Brother Voodoo character. There are a lot of characters flopped when they first came out. What, Star-Lord? No, he wasn't a huge one, but look what it is now.
I mean, I think Unruly's of the same age and mindset as me, where there are certain characters that we see getting a lot of hype now, and we don't get it because
You don't
they
like
didn't
him
get the hype back then.
because you don't like him. Now you guys need to learn to evolve.
it's-
That's what life is about, evolving and being like, you know what, I didn't like mustard when I was a kid. I'll give it a chance. And you
No,
might
you know what
like.
it has more to do with? I think it has more to do with being influenced by the advertising within the publications themselves.
Oh, you're
Where if
saying you typecast these characters. That's what you do. So you can't get over Adam West being in another movie. He can't be in Happy Hooker Goes to Hollywood. He always has to be Batman. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
It's not what I'm
Yes,
doing.
that is character typecasting. You can't let them be the hero.
Is Brother Voodoo on that shirt you're wearing?
No, because they only have one spot for a man of color, and that is Black Panther. What are you kidding? Oh, they have green. They have the Hulk. Okay, he's colorful. Gee whiz, get with the and this is only movie dudes too. So come on.
I was going to talk about kind of.
Oh wait, they got Iron Fist on here. Ah! Oh, God, I'm gonna cut him out.
So the thing about Black Panther, and when they brought him back for this, we hadn't seen him for a long time, like at least 10 or 15 years. Like he was a Brother Voodoo type character, where the Marvel as a publisher was pretty much ignoring him.
Yes, Storm. I forgot Storm. Unbelievable. I gotta say, I watched Black Panther, the end of Black Panther last night, waiting for AEW Rampage, which I found out was on earlier that day, so I didn't get to watch it. And it's on a different channel, not TBS. Anyways, and if they're gonna make Shuri the new Black Panther, they better teach her how to fight, because she was getting thrown everywhere, bro. She was getting beat up, knocked down, stood upon. It was, man. The movie looked a lot better. They might have cleaned it up a bit. Maybe it's my new TV. I don't know. In the movie theaters, I remember Rubber Band, Black Panther, and the Tiger dude just like, I'm rubbery. Woo! Storm. Yeah, let's talk about Storm. I think she is probably the most noteworthy character besides like Jon Stewart that we like, and Black Panther. She was kind of just there for lots of. She's like she's a goddess type thing.
Right.
That she's almost untouchable in a sense, but then she was naive. She was kind of like Starfire, right? She was like, "What is this?" Oh, but designed by Dave Cockrum, like the awesome suits that he did, and sexy and stuff. And I agree with Unruly because when she became punk rock, she became
Mohawk.
Yeah. I you can tell the difference. And then they took her back and like, let's just make her a sex, like, oh, she's sexy again and she's naive and da. And that's the thing. So like Cyborg, they had this great character, but unlike Cyborg, they didn't evolve him. Like they evolved Storm, but then they kind of just like, oh, we just need someone else. Put her back here, That's the way it is. Superman cartoon was never. Would that blow people's minds and make? See, there's the thing. Would it be easier to transfer, to evolve Superman into a black man or Lex Luthor into a black man? Luthor? Now, here's the thing. I don't think so, because he's a bad guy. And you're like, hey, I made a person black. I made this old white bald dude black. They'd be like, yeah, but he's the bad guy.
But the thing is, Superman also fought for truth, justice, and the American way. I think people have issue, not my people, of course, but have issue with making the beacon for American righteousness a brother.
Well, I think they.
I think it can't win either way.
People have a problem with being about truth, justice, and the American way these days.
Well, especially back then. I mean, it wasn't like he was out there fighting for civil rights. I mean, he did fight the Klan once.
I think the American way has been co-opted by just people, garbage beliefs. It's all what you think it stands for, like what it should stand for, the truth it stands for.
Well, I mean,
Not
DC
like,
even changed his whole slogan recently, like in the last
No,
6
no,
months.
they changed
Yeah.
it a long time ago, but people
Oh
didn't
yeah,
care about
I
it till
remember
recently.
everybody's mad about it. He's a comic book character. What I'm talking about is the skin tone. I think even if you change Lex Luthor into a black man, that there would be an uproar because you changed a villain and you're perceiving the black man as a villain.
See, I'm craving for a black supervillain, especially if you see the way DC gets down, where if you're a villain, you got a better chance of getting a series done than if you're a hero.
Daredevil movie.
Ooh.
What's his name
Black
from
supervillains.
Green
What
Mile?
names some black supervillains?
The
Black
big dude.
Manta is a supervillain, and he's black.
Yeah,
Black
he-
Manta.
He was the Kingpin.
Oh, but I'm
They
okay.
even
Maybe
pointed
there are
out in
some.
his name.
Okay, I'm just looking for
What?
one that's like diamond.
Venom is black.
But Venom's not well. In the
Venom is
beginning.
black.
But is he? But isn't he more of a hero or an anti-hero?
He's an anti-hero, but Venom is black. Oh, are we going to discount the Venom's black?
No. He's black.
He's black.
I mean, he
Venom
was
is
Tom
black.
Hardy in the last movie.
Tom Hardy's white. His host is white, but Venom is black.
Oh, like Darth Vader.
No, because Darth Vader is the guy in the suit. It's the C version. No. Venom, the alien symbiote, is
Okay.
black.
All right.
Okay.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Well, the movie's on Star, so I'm planning on watching that this week.
That's why all the other symbiotes are fighting him, and they're all like, "Oh, you know." I'm telling you.
All right. So let's do black comic book creators. Who comes to mind for you, Al?
Oh, of course, Dwayne McDuffie, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like the big kahuna, helped create
all the milestone.
and all the Justice League memories. And I mean, I have to say, when it comes to comic book artists, and well, Mark Bright, he was like, here's the thing, when I was getting the Iron Mans, I wasn't going, is this guy a black artist or a black writer? I wasn't doing that. I was just like, oh, I love this dude. I love Mark Bright. Mark D. Bright. Yeah, I agree. That was even when I hated that suit, I ended up loving that suit. I think I got it over here. Anyways, I love that suit now. The Silver Centurion. I mean, he doesn't get any love because this dude was all over.
Yeah,
he did Green
consistent.
Lantern's Emerald Dawn. The reboot of Hal Jordan's when I mean, his layouts are fantastic and his artwork isn't shabby. He was a professional, and man,
he was consistent. He was all over the place as far as like you'd pick up a comic and realize it has great art, and then but not realize it's him, and you go look at the credits and you're like, yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, that dude don't get credit. He does not get any credit. He also took over for Icon and Rocket. He was doing the early ones, but he
also did. I don't own it anymore, but he did a Green Lantern miniseries like post Crisis, like in that kind of transition area.
But yeah, I just said that. Yeah, I was talking about that. It was the one where Hal Jordan was drunk and he flew into a sign and it was yellow and messed him up. That's where he learned he would. It was like a movie pitch or something, and it was like, yeah, he did that for a while. And Daryl Banks, it's my next name, Daryl Banks. I mean, another Green Lantern guy, huge. I'm sure he designed that Parallax suit.
Oh, for sure.
He had to have done that.
I think I've asked this before, but whenever a new artist takes over, how long before they totally make that new outfit, that next outfit theirs? Is it subtle or is it?
He probably designed Kyle Reiner, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
It depends on, to answer your question, it depends on like what their intent is. They were gonna stick to their guns and do a new Green Lantern, and so they designed a suit that, you know, that's gonna last for 50 issues or however long it went.
Okay.
Yeah. So definitely Daryl Banks. I mean, he had a long run on Green Lantern, and I think he's probably a art teacher now somewhere. I know he was into. I think he was doing advertisements and stuff. So he had like a real clean style, and man,
he's from the Columbus area, and he was doing his comic book work when I was in college. So I met him once or twice and had my.
You got it like this, right? You got it like that.
Oh, nice.
Together.
What do you say?
If you Vic,
he was in a position to give me a job, so.
Yeah, Vic, if you don't know these guys, you need to go and look at their stuff. They're very like.
There was a joke made last night, and I just need to know if there's something I should be aware of. Matt Baker, not really anybody that's good, or is that the guy that's working for Yeezy now?
So Matt Baker is a Golden Age artist that did the Phantom Lady comic covers, amongst other covers. So it was ironic in the fact that he was considered a good girl artist back in the Golden Age as a black man, and nobody knew it was a black man drawing these pictures of the pretty ladies.
Oh.
Of course, if people had found out, he did.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't learn that Matt Baker was black until literally like last year.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, you want to talk about good girl artwork? Let's talk about Steve Hughes.
Steve Hughes, yeah.
He did Lady Death and Evil Ernie. Or Evil Ernie, right? Yeah.
Did you say Evil Ernie?
He's a forgotten name because he died fairly young.
Yep.
And I just remember seeing the big boobs. I'm like, oh, but it was but here's the thing, like the other dude gets all the Polito or whatever his name is. It's because it's his characters or whatever. But it was the art of Steve Hughes that made me like look like, oh my goodness, look at this. I mean, Ernie too. Like he was cool. I liked his art style. I remember getting an ash can of Evil Ernie's book and looking, I'm like, oh my goodness, I love the designs and the stuff. And I mean, I'm sure it's not for everybody, but I mean, and then of course, you know, Lady Death with the big rack of kitchen utensils. Hey, it's snowing outside again.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you're gonna be living in the Hood's residence now, Vic.
Right. So when I was a kid, they used to have the Michiana Comic Con, which was a small Comic Con where it was like in
Michiana.
Well, I mean the venue where they had it was like a place where they have like wedding receptions, kind of like a VFW or something like that.
VFW. And that's where you could get a free Punisher first appearance magazine.
Really?
Look at that.
Well, I'm not talking about the South Bend one they have now. I'm talking about when I was a kid.
No. I'm talking about the one at Holy Cross Church that was over here on Western.
Yeah, is it the ZB Falcons Hall? That's where it was before the church.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, I didn't go to that one. I went to the church one.
I mean, it's worse for the wear. It's from 1982.
Because, you know, all right, go ahead.
I could go on and
on. Wait. No.
But so they had a guest artist there. The first time I had actually ever seen a comic book creator in person.
Randy Zimmerman?
It was this guy named Keith Pollard that did Green Lantern back in the day.
Oh man, he did so much. I looked his stuff up, and oh my goodness, I'm like, oh, I remember. This is awesome. I got so many great covers by him.
So this was back in the day when they'd sign the first page instead of on the cover in a big Sharpie marker. But to my surprise, it's a black man.
That's Al Jordan. That's not
Keith Pollard.
I thought you were talking about he drew a picture of a black man, like in a Green Lantern book.
Yeah, solid work.
Yeah.
Only one person's ever said nobody draws the black people better than I do.
What's that?
Only one person said nobody draws black people better than I do.
Who's that?
Wasn't it Neil Adams?
He would have the cojones to say something like that. So didn't do the cover, but inside was Dennis Cowan, who is also another milestone guy.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think I like Dennis Cowan's stuff now, like when he was working on when from the 80s and mid 90s. The stuff now, like in the New Question book.
So this page right here, I have the original art for it.
Oh, really?
But I took it to work this week to scan it, but otherwise I would have shown it. The first piece of original art I ever bought. But
now you can say that when you're making bad, unpopular statements like all things black. I have a piece of original art from Dennis Cowan. I can say that.
I have 2 pages from black artists, actually.
I do. I got 3.
Remember when I drew that Batman? Doesn't that make it 3?
Oh my goodness.
Dennis Cowan was a great artist, and he usually got buried by inkers like Bill Sienkiewicz and Klaus Janson. But he did a lot of work on Milestone Line too. Okay, so the other artist, I didn't pull the actual book, but pulled what I think is a better example of his work, is a guy named Trevor Von Eden.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, how can you forget?
The brother named Trevor Von Eden?
Mm-hmm.
His Green Arrow miniseries, I've always loved it. I've always oh my goodness. But he's got such his storytelling is so unique. It takes a little bit of getting used to.
Mm-hmm.
But the Green Arrow stuff was
his style was kind of what Frank Miller would kind of turn into, where it was like you could tell there was a solid art background behind his draftsmanship, but he would stylize it in a little bit more gritty way.
I'm watching this on my phone. I can't see that too well.
You gotta get a bigger phone.
Arvell Jones. Yes, I was going to mention Arvell.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and count the panels, but look at that.
Well, I think you already are.
But
OCD, Jamie Hood.
People will see this thriller series in dollar bins like all across the country.
Yeah.
Pick up the first 4 issues. It's a pretty good read.
OCD. Show everything.
Arvell Jones, yep.
Arvell. Yeah, I see him. I've used it when I was doing conventions. I'd see him the most at a lot of the conventions. It was pretty. I'd always be like, I don't talk to you. Oh, cool thing. Who's this?
Ron Wilson.
Ron Wilson. He used to do a lot of G.I. Joe. And I always liked his G.I. Joes.
He did a lot of work in the 2-in-1 series as well.
Yeah.
I like that thing.
Yeah, the thing stands out.
This is
hard to do. I'll just say that.
This is another one of those books that if you see it for an affordable price, get it. It's definitely a book worth having in your collection.
With that exact comic book?
Yep. Can't have this one though.
Why?
Have you never read it? This is where the champion comes to town. Champion? No, the champion. The singular, not plural.
I thought.
So.
Oh no! Here we go. He's gonna show us page by page.
He comes to Earth and says, we're going to take all your biggest heavy hitter heroes, all your strongest heroes, and we're going to have a boxing match.
Is this the one that ends up with Ali?
And I'm going to whoop them all.
Oh, is this from the Contest of Champions or what?
No. Let's see if I can find a picture of him. Here we go.
Oh, that goon. That dude, look at that dude. Man, look at he skipped.
Look how wide his
It's
chest
bad
is.
when his legs look like that and you say he skipped leg day. That's horrible. That upper body, man. Yo, man, I skipped leg day. His legs are bigger than me.
Good morning, John.
Morning. So Misty Knight is considered the first black female hero.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 6 months, but 6 months.
And she worked for the law, and we like her.
I'm telling you.
I like Misty Knight. She needs more of a prominent role.
So you wait. To go back, you said that you wouldn't like Superman to be black because he's for Truth, Justice, American Way.
No. I didn't say I wouldn't like it to be black. I think there would be people up in arms claiming that social justice warriors are taking over and making everybody switch races.
They do that anyway. They do it anyways.
Yeah. But they do
anyway.
it bad.
But I'm just saying, but then he said that we like Misty Knight because she's with the law. So
No. I said, and she's with the law.
And she's with the law.
Of course, once again, remember, I only know Misty Knight from Luke Cage and the Defenders.
That's pretty much.
That's my favorite spread in the whole book. That shot in the jaw that he's getting Sasquatch right there.
Cake what?
Now, is this just a one book story or is it?
Yep, it's all self.
Mainly the two and ones. It was the Things, like where the Thing would team up with a single hero, and they would just go on. And Spider-Man had one, Marvel Team Up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he would do the same thing.
Okay.
That was I think one of my first comic books I bought was him and Valkyrie and Thor. So Spider-Man, not the fact. All right, Colossus. Ooh, Larry Stroman. How do you pronounce the last name?
I say Strowman.
Stroman, okay.
Strowman.
Yeah, I remember that. That is a nice.
Yeah, everybody has this book. It's one of those million sellers.
Yeah,
back in the
I
day.
like. His art was so fresh, so unique.
Yeah,
and
it was another one where if you kind of picture Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane look, and then
no,
then this
Todd McFarlane, I would say it's closer.
This guy gets tossed in the mix, and he has a really different take on stuff. I mean, his work is just as energetic and dynamic, but he's just got a whole other kind of aesthetic to it.
It stands out. It stands out amongst everything else. And then when they did Tribe, he did the Tribe image book, and it was just like that's what gets me, man. Is all these artists that were like, "Ooh, this is awesome." Oh, he also did Alien Legion. I believe Strowman did Alien Legion, which that's an underrated book. But all these hot artists that went to Image and then were just like, see you later. I mean, we never seen him go to DC doing. That's why I don't like the Image thing, because everybody went to Image.
Didn't he do Milestone work?
Who?
Larry Stroman.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
You know, the thing I kind of really appreciate about you too, and I told you the guy that's coming in, I like stories. I read books without pictures, okay? But you guys love art, and the way you guys describe it and talk about it, I start to look at books differently now. You know, I read it differently.
I read books. I don't need pictures. I have my imagination.
Well, I did.
Got a little love for Damian Scott, who did this run on Batgirl back in the day. He would always sign his books with this kind of H symbol, and I always ask him, "What's that all about?" And he's like, "Oh, it's private."
Keep your private crap off my book.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably because he was a sniper, and that's like.
And then as far as like the current like guys working today,
Ooh, baby.
Olivier Coipel, I think that's how you
Yeah.
pronounce it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. His
He's
art.
really
Oh
comics
my
on the
goodness, I
mind.
love his stuff, man. I dig his stuff the most.
And he's a guy that like he was rolling, doing tons of work like 5 years ago. Now he's like he does an issue here or there and some covers.
Yeah.
And
They broke him. They broke him. I'm telling you, Marvel broke this dude. Broke this dude. They just. I don't know. I just like to say that. I take.
This is a modern book.
Yeah.
Was this the book that was like going through the roof of spec value?
You put Al in a corner.
No, I mean he did the first appearance of I think the Kid Thor or the Kid Loki. I mean, so that
Are we?
book's
Are
back.
we?
But you
Are
know
we
how I
on a
appreciate the
snowstorm
green
again?
cover.
Because I wanted to go get some comic books. I wanted to go get some toys, but if it's gonna be snowing and garbage out like this,
And cold. Oh, really? I have the Magic Order.
I was born in the cold.
I haven't read it yet.
Well, I thought you read. Oh, you don't. You
I'm
read books
catching
without
up.
pictures. Okay.
Dude, we should be warm, man. We're big boys, man. I got some. I can burn that off, man. It'll keep me warm out there.
So I've got a bunch of books a bunch of covers by one particular artist that I have always appreciated.
Did we already skip over the writers already?
Well,
We don't like writers.
Tim Owsley / Christopher Priest, who did this. Al led with
Dwayne McDuffie.
Dwayne McDuffie.
Oh.
Who you got?
Well,
Dwayne
modern
McDuffie.
people, of course. Tanahashi Coates gets a little messagey, but I like it. Plus, he has a book on the banned book list, Between the World and Me. Great book. And then Eve Ewing, of course. I'm surprised she's not writing the Ironheart TV series because she did a great job on the book.
You don't want that. You don't. Real quick sidebar. You do not want a comic book writer writing because then they're gone. Then they're gone. They become Jeff Johns, and then he becomes a bigwig, and then they screw up the whole thing. It's weird. You think it works, but it doesn't work. But go ahead. But that's not true because Dwayne McDuffie went on to do the Justice League and all this other good stuff. And
there's of course, there's the Pride of St. Louis who produced House Party 1, 2, 3, and the new House Party coming out to Reginald Hudlin.
Yeah.
What is Public Enema? I love that dude. Like, what's that dude's name? He was on all those. Oh man, he was like, he was on. Oh man, he was their neighbor that called the cops on
Robert Harris.
Called in the house party, and he was like Public Enema. He kept calling. No, it wasn't Robin Harris. No, not Baby Kids. No, wasn't Robin. Was he? He wasn't in House Party. He was their dad, wasn't he?
I thought it was.
And then Martin Lawrence was Dragon Breath. That's where Martin Lawrence goes, Dragon Breath, man. Oh man, I remember the house parties.
It cost them like $10,000 to make. They made like $20 million.
There you go.
Well, yeah, Kid and Play was huge back then, man. Man. I wonder what happened to them.
I never saw him.
You never saw House Party?
Mm.
Well, you're in luck. They're rebooting the new one.
Be right there.
What? Wait a minute. How are you going to reboot House Party? Well, I guess it's not just Kid and Play, but all the actors from that.
I know.
I remember. Oh, Robert Harris. I remember he was. I think he was the bartender in "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker." Oh man, they was funny dudes. I watched his stand up back then. Oh, it was just funny. That's where Baby Kids came from.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
I
think he died before they brought that out.
Yeah.
And then I think Bernie Mac did the voice for that.
Oh, really?
Bernie Mac did the voice for Robin Harris and those. Brian Stelfreeze, right?
Brian Stelfreeze.
Oh, I was going to mention, where's your favorite Batman guy at? Or one of them.
Well, he's the guy. This is another book that came out when I was in college. So as a kind of art student, I was eating up every one of these covers that he was doing.
How do we got Roger Murtaugh in the group?
I'm sure
fictional character.
it's the real Roger Murtaugh.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, Roger.
Thank you.
I'm too over this shit.
Big fan. Big fan.
But yeah, there's something about that slick painted style that he had going on in these books.
Yeah,
Just love it.
I think my first introduction to him, it was in an X-Men annual, and I was like, I wanted him to draw everything after that.
Yeah, exactly.
But then he's slow, I think. I don't know. Is he?
Well, he did that whole, basically every cover for Shadow the Bat, like 50 issues or something crazy.
Yeah.
Then they would do these specials around the times when the movies were coming out. So this
Nice shiny comic book. Is that like a variant? A shiny comic book cover?
No.
Is that the variant?
Well, here's a question I have for you. Kind of.
Hold on, let me shine something. Let's see if I can get shiny. Oh, no, it's not shiny enough.
I mean, they were shiny. I mean, this was
look at that
mid 90s, early 90s. So we've got it's embossed with the.
And you can still buy those because no one wants them.
Did he have any say in that trade dress?
No.
Think that's something that he designed?
No. DC would have had people on staff doing all that kind of stuff. His style evolved a little bit, He got into playing with some colored pencils along the way.
That's a cool Riddler.
Poison Ivy, they make you itch.
He just stayed all in the Batman universe, didn't he?
He was kind of a go-to guy for him.
You're gonna show all of them?
Heck yeah!
Just open the books and show the pages. Oh, he didn't do the.
Please.
That doesn't look like Jamie Foxx.
Oh man, it's snowing again.
This one probably my favorite.
Oh, I was getting ready to go off. I was like, "You got the Prince variant," but that's not the Prince variant.
This was the Prince variant before they did Prince variants. There we go.
Nice.
Oh, we're back to reality. That's great. Okay. So we're talking about characters from movies, right? Pop culture, or what are we doing?
Yeah, characters. We can talk about the actors we like.
The actors. Oh, we're doing that. You go first, Vic.
Everybody in Black Panther. That covers it.
Come on. We get into my favorite black exploitation actress, Pam Grier. Black exploitation actor was Rudy Ray Moore, Dolomite. Love him. Human tornado. A human tornado. I love it.
Dolomite.
Shout out to Richard Roundtree, man, for Shaft.
How come that never got made to a comic?
It had to have been at some point. I don't remember.
Michael Jai White, yes. Oh my goodness, hold on a minute. Black Dynamite. If we're not talking about Black Dynamite, we're not talking about anything. You guys ever seen Black Dynamite?
No. I don't know that I have.
You need to watch Black Dynamite. It is the most hilarious thing. Tommy Davidson from In Living Color. He plays a character called Cream Corn. He's like, I'm running things. It's hilarious. You need to watch Black Dynamite. If you do anything today or the next time of your life, Black Dynamite is hilarious. It is the Airplane of black exploitation movies.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I thought Soul Plane was.
No.
I thought Airplane
That's the movie trying too hard. That's a movie trying too hard. Black Dynamite is real. Okay, it is the best. It is good. You need to watch it.
That's our assignment
right now. Go. Is anybody in chat that is still there?
Yeah, we have.
I think I'm exposed to no one's still watching. Have you watched Black Dynamite? Anybody?
All right, sound off, chat, if you've seen Black Dynamite.
Yeah. And tell me your favorite part.
So my favorite black actor is David Keith, or Keith David. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. And
he's the guy that shows up and always plays a great part, but If I say I like Keith David, you have no idea
He's
what I'm talking
considered
about.
I know.
that guy.
Well, he's
He
a
was
character
in
actor,
The
for sure.
Thing. He was in They Live. He was in something about Mary.
Mhm.
He was in, dude, a huge shout out. Okay, the last season of Community. All right. He was in the last season of Community, which everybody's like, oh, this is going to suck. He's such a great character. He is such a great character. He's an IT guy that lives in an RV outside of the school. And they do this episode where he goes to weddings and he's like, I'm addicted to cheering up white people or to propping them up. He's like, there's a guy that really knows how to marry his cousin. You know, just like if you're like there's a guy that knows how to drink coffee. All right, give it up for him. And he gets so addicted and he gets up and he's spilling it all over the place and they had to stop him. It is great. The last season of Community with Keith David, hilarious. He's funny, man. He's funny and he's the president in Rick and Morty.
Okay.
He's the president and he's great in that. And they shrink him. Oh my goodness. Keith David, he is an unsung hero.
Mhm.
Yeah, I give up. I applaud your choice there. Applaud your choice. All right. Go ahead there, Vic. We got to only pick one. Only pick one now.
I mean,
If
You can't pick Morgan
if you
Freeman now.
don't say Denzel, will that lower your standing within the community?
no, but you know who should have a role in the MCU, except for I don't know how good of an actor he really is. It's Shamar Moore.
Okay.
Can we
educate
find
us.
a gig for Shamar Moore?
What do we know him from?
Criminal Minds, SWAT, what? Young and the Restless.
So he's a TV
He's
actor.
too pretty,
Yeah.
man.
Needs to blossom into the movies. I got you.
Yes.
He's probably
But-
older than us.
Oh yeah, I forgot he is older. isn't he?
He's old. I tell you, you want to talk about a guy that didn't get his just desserts? Philip Michael Thomas from Miami Vice.
Yeah.
That dude, listen, that dude was a handsome son of a gun. He was smooth, man. And he could sing. That dude
He
was a
could
triple threat. That dude was I don't know what happened. Maybe it was cocaine. I don't know. He got typecast and did a bunch of bad movies after that. And then he did the Miss Cleo or whatever. Call me now. He started that whole thing and then got scammed on that. Dude was so good as Tubbs, man. He was so good. He should have done other things. They could have got him to do so much stuff. Such a beautiful man. Okay. I mean, I'm like watching Miami. Going, damn, man, this dude. I better go look at some naked women real quick because this dude. But yeah, that dude's cool. He I don't know. Typecasting once again, folks, or maybe a cocaine habit. I don't know. Maybe he was a problem to work with. He might have been.
Like,
The other, like, go listen to his music, man. He had some hits. He didn't. I don't know if they were hits, but he put out some music at the same time that Don Johnson was putting out music. You know. But man, yeah. So okay, so he was one. But we get into it now. Like, who's the modern male or female? Who's gonna be the one that, like, we can't, you know? I guess Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
He's consensus pick.
He's
Yeah.
pretty. I mean, watching his acting when he's dying, and I mean at the end of Black Panther, I was like,
But
damn,
he wasn't
this
dying.
dude's really dying.
He was just hurt really bad.
No, and then he really bad with a dagger in his heart. I'm just really hurt, guys. I'm gonna shove this in there all the way. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Black Panther.
I'm just saying he's gonna be the next one.
Look at Highland. Did you see that? Yeah, that was a good looking man. Okay, hey. Well, side note here, sidebar. I was looking for something to watch on Tubi. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I was actually looking for a movie. It happened to me. I watched Highlander, and then at the end it shows you other movies you could watch. And I was like, oh yeah, I want to watch that. It was Starman, the John Carpenter Starman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'll go watch it in my room and, fall asleep or what. Okay, so I turn on, I go in my room, and then, like, I doodle around for a while, looking at boobs. No. So I come back out. I forget what movie I wanted to watch. Starman, it's simple. I come back out, and I turn it on and here, like, maybe it saved it, because my other one wasn't showing it. And you know how it is to go through streaming, and you're trying to find a movie to watch. It's impossible. And but you realize, you realize how much garbage has been made. There's so much garbage made. There's a new Porky's. There was a Porky's put out in like 2000 something.
Really?
I started watching that. I knew I wasn't going to watch the whole thing. Automatically, it was like, this is like one of those national it's like by name only. Porky's. It's just like, it doesn't have any of the good stuff from the originals. Anyways, I was looking through all the streaming nights. I came up. It has to be my favorite title of a movie that might not be a movie. It might just be something that happens in the movie. It's called Kung Fu and Titties. And I'm like, what is this? I didn't watch it, but the name Kung Fu and Titties, it cuts out the middleman, don't it? It would have been better. It's like, hey, we're not going to get like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. We're not going to get some Kill Bill. We're not going to get Lone Wolf and Cub. We're just going to come out with it, guys. This movie has Kung Fu and Titties. So watch it, please. They just, that's the way it is, man. They don't care. But
they didn't bury the lead.
Yeah, I think what they need for Netflix, and for this might cut people might not view it. They need to do movies that were actually in theaters, and then movies that are just streaming movies. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to look through all this. You don't want to watch. Who wants to watch most of these direct-to-video garbage? I mean, you can find some good ones, but I ended up okay. So this has nothing to do with anything besides Kung Fu and Titties. Now, if it was called Kung Fu Titties, I think that'd be more interesting because it'll be. I ended up watching a movie with James Caan called Thief, which pretty awesome. It was so 80s. I loved it. It was directed by Michael Mann, who directed a lot and produced a lot of Miami Vice, and it had a Tangerine Dream. Tangerine Dream. If you don't know who they are, go look them up. They're like like keyboard type theme music, and it's just, oh my god, it was so like, if this movie came out today, it would win an Oscar. Back then it didn't, because it was just like, oh, they're making these things every day. But the way it was so gritty and dirty that today it'd be like, oh, I've never seen anything like it. Everything's nice and like, oh, back then, no, man. It had Jim Belushi was in this movie, and I didn't hate him. So that's a shock. Anyways,
all right. Back on track. So here's an idea for a TV show that Disney Plus should do, and call me crazy. Old Man T'Challa starring Denzel Washington.
What?
Old Man T'Challa starring Denzel Washington.
How about Old Man Panther?
Okay. Denzel ain't got the Ricochet body anymore. He's rocking more than that.
Which one was the one? Ricochet was the one with oh yeah, the guy, what's his name? John Lithgow, right? Is the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I watched that so much.
Where Denzel takes off his pants and like he has a holster in the back of his jockstrap, and he shoots it behind his back.
What are you watching that for? I gotta go look at some boobies.
Actually, that's how I got introduced.
Oh, he's in that jockstrap. That's pretty nice. Oh, I gotta go look at some boobies.
I was another one. I was like, "Ooh, this guy is fine." Like, who's this?
Denzel. Denzel.
And that's how I ended up watching the rest of Ricochet.
Yeah.
The first time.
Yeah. I think Denzel's done a lot of good movies. I remember, I mean, at the time, I think Book of Eli, right? This one where he's a blind guy. Spoiler alert. And he's got like, yeah, that's a pretty tight movie. It's something. Ricochet, of course. Virtuosity, that's got him and Russell Crowe, right?
Mm.
That's, you never seen it, have
I've
you?
never seen it.
See, the problem is that there's a lot of Denzel Washington movies where he plays the same character.
Hey,
Okay.
I saw Denzel's very first movie. This is before Denzel was Denzel.
Was it where he was a white dude's kid?
Yes.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
Copy. That's where he has the car. He goes, his dad's like, how'd you pay for this car? I said, $14 for a record player. That you paid too much.
I know the dude that is his dad in that. It's just like, okay, this is why you can get away with that stuff in the past. You can't do that now.
No.
You can't do that now. Oh, that's horrible. That's bad.
See,
anyway,
I haven't seen Carbon Copy.
What other movie characters can we talk about besides no superhero? Like, we got Apollo Creed, man.
Oh, Carl
Apollo
Weathers.
Creed. We can't get out of here without talking about Apollo Creed.
What about Mr. T?
Oh, Clubber Lang, yeah. Well, Mr. T in himself, he's a character.
Mm-hmm.
He's awesome. He has a great laugh. If you ever want to hear, you got to hear Mr. T laugh. That dude is silly, man, when he gets laughing.
Carl Weathers. He's been great in everything.
Carl Weathers. He did a movie after Action Jackson. It was just like, okay, it's almost like Action Jackson. It's like Handsome Harry or something like hardcore. I was like, you get stuck in this, man. You gotta, I think, I don't know. Yeah. Oh man, Carl Weathers could have been. He's another dude that could have been, in a movie, a Marvel movie. If he was younger, who could he have been, man? Captain America.
I started to say Lando Calrissian.
Well, he ended up being Lando on there. Let's talk about Billy D. Williams then, man. Billy D. after Empire and Return. He disappeared, man. That dude disappeared.
That was towards the end of his career, wasn't it?
Or
the end of his prime.
Mahogany and all that good stuff.
Because the lady sings the blues. That was what, late 70s, early 80s. Sparkle.
Him and Diana Ross, right?
He was
He was in Nighthawk, or what was it, Nighthawk or Street Hawk? What movie was that with him and Sylvester Stallone?
Oh, let's go with Nighthawk.
I think it was Nighthawk.
Of course, we all know what Billy D. Williams' seminal work is. The Colt 45 beer commercial.
Oh, man, that's what got him. He started doing commercials. Back then, you didn't do TV or commercials, and it ends your career.
But see,
right away.
That's the whole thing. Like, there's a group of young black actors right now that I think can be in anything, just take over. But there's not enough quote unquote work, mainstream work, for all of them to stay working. And they're going to end up doing commercials and stuff. Yeah, I'm just like,
well, now you can do commercials. Now commercials is a launching pad, but you can't go do a movie, become famous, then do commercials. That's the thing. Once you break in, you can't go back to commercials. But now you can, because they pay you billions of dollars to be Matthew McConaughey. Or even Morgan Freeman, man. He's doing all that voiceover work, but he's getting old to where they don't want him on camera anymore.
My favorite actor that could probably do something, except for I don't know if he could cross over to the movies, is Dule Hill. I've been watching Dule Hill for the last 20 plus years on TV. I mean, he was on the West Wing, and as soon as the West Wing ended, he was on Psych.
Okay, now I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
I mean, he was on Sister when he was younger.
Kind of weird looking dude. He doesn't have leading man looks.
He's on Wonder Years right now, and he's really
here for leading man. You just, if anybody looks weird and don't make the Denzel cut, they're not gonna be a leading man. Okay.
Well, they don't have to be looking man. They just have to be entertaining.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if you want to be the lead in a movie,
Yeah.
You can't be looking like a dolphin or something. You know what I mean? You can't be looking like a underdeveloped kid or something. You know, Nighthawk. Yeah, Nighthawk had Rutger Hauer as the bad guy. It was supposed to be. It was set up to be. It was set up to be a sequel to the French Connection, but then what's his name? Dude in Royal Tenenbaums and every other movie.
There you go, Jaguar.
Anyways, who cares? It was supposed to be a French Connection sequel. He turned it
Can
down.
we bump Michael B. Jordan to DC and let him be Green Lantern, or is Green Lantern not good enough for him?
So that's the thing. You can't have everybody being, oh, the Rock. We're getting the Rock, aren't we? That's the most charismatic mother in the world, man.
Yes, he's seen kick off the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. That dude keeps getting bigger, man. I mean, he bulked up. I have no desire to see the Black Adam movie, but the Rock's in it, so I don't know. The DC cannot tempt me. But I take the back. I'm lying. Some of the new stuff I've seen of the Batman, I'm gonna see the Batman movie.
But you gotta remember though, Black Adam is not a DC production; it's a Dwayne Johnson production.
It's true.
I gotta see great.
Put all this time and effort into a bad movie.
You think Nighthawk is good? Go check out Thief with James Caan, man. You would not understand. Like James Caan, man, he was an everyman. Before Bruce Willis, there's James Caan in this movie.
Well, if you think Thief is good, you need to see Flypaper. Amazing movie. 2 different groups, 2 different gangs rob a bank at the same time.
Wow. What year was this?
2000 something.
Okay, that explains it all. Yeah. That is on Netflix and the.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right next to Kung Fu and Titties.
So I said Midnight Run. Midnight Run. That's a great
Midnight
movie.
Run. I've never seen it, but I heard it's good. Have they remade it yet?
Sure, it's on the docket.
When I watch movies, I do it with the sound off. It's better.
Nice.
I just listen to it.
All right.
I feel it. I put my hands on the screen, and I'm like, oh, I feel this movie.
Is there anything left that we need to talk about before we put a bow on this discussion?
I think one thing I want to say is for people that are like, I don't want to get political, or whatever. People that earlier when I was talking about how there was there were some black. I don't like the way I said that. Anyway, there were some black characters, but there wasn't a lot. So now that they're coming out with new characters, they've been doing it for 2000s on. People of color, and people are yelling, "Oh no, it's just you're playing to the." Man, how do you think it would feel if all you seen was a character or someone you don't relate to, and it's not your skin tone, whatever, and it's majority? We're trying to break it up. So when you go and look at a comic book, if they turn Superman black, or if they turn Spider-Man Puerto Rican or whatever, you got to realize it's not to piss you off. It's to be like, hey, you had your chance. He was white for 80 years. You got Paris still, and it's trying to get out of that whole. It's one person's ball game. It's not just for one person. Eventually, they'll realize that by turning characters, swapping like race on them, that's not how you really should do it. Just create new characters. But here's another thing. We don't give those characters a chance.
No.
Because they're not big characters. We don't. Like, name a character we've given a chance in the last 20 years. I didn't give that a chance. That's a generic name. Stealth is a generic name. I'm telling you right now. Okay. It is when it comes to comic book company names. All right. Marvel sticks out and DC sticks out, maybe because their Image is a good name. But when you got these guys that are like Poop Goblin Comics or Under the Rug Comics, those aren't really. So when it comes to comic book characters' names, like Stealth, that is, what is that, a noun or something? Or that's like it's not a name. It's not Batman. It's not Superman. It's not Spider-Man. People are afraid.
Stealth Man.
Huh?
Stealth Man.
Stealth Man. The Stealther. How about Mr. Stealth? The name
Dr.
is
Stealth.
Hey, he didn't go to 6 years of stealth school to be called Mr.
Yeah. I'm telling you, people are also afraid to do the cheesy names, and that's why the cheesy names stick. They might get made fun of. But Stealth is everything. Stealth was a movie. Stealth is like, that's why it doesn't stick out.
Yeah.
It's hard. And it's hard, especially with comic books, because they don't sell anymore. No one's buying them.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Need to make commercials for them. That'd be awesome. They don't do that. Like if you go in the local comic book shop, sometimes you see that they make their own own videos for these things, That's why the G.I. Joe stuff worked, when you see the cartoon for the comic book. That's what. Anyways. But what do we do? Just don't be grumpy. Let everybody play with the toys. My nephew, he doesn't know He-Man. He doesn't know Skeletor, but I give it to him. I was like, oh, this is cool. But then I also got him a Clamp Champ, so he can, oh, you look like. But he doesn't do that. He's not like, well, this one looks like me, so I like that, because he's still, 3 years old, But he likes the toys. He's not, So let people play with your toys, and don't be a big grump, because everybody should have a chance to play with the toys. I guess in my roundabout way, that was my B1 with everybody. I probably didn't make any sense.
That was your "Can we all just get along" speech.
Yeah, I'm gonna get beat down by a bunch of cops now. I'm like, I want to be like, "Can we all get along?" Jeez, what was the white dude's name that got pulled out of his?
Yeah,
it was another dude. He got pulled out of his truck and got beat down.
That was bad.
That is, man. That was bad, but I'm making a joke. I'm being facetious about it. I'm taking a very serious thing and joking about it.
They threw cinder blocks at him, man.
But he was on the news. Him and Rodney King were hanging out, doing news. This is how we end the show, folks. Let's make fun of 90s rioting. Race relations couldn't be better here on Pop Culture Clobberin Time. All things black.
I think that puts a pin in that.
It does.
Can we say that I was the one that messaged Jamie like, this is gonna be the title? This is all things. Oh, okay. Because I'm uptight. I'm an uptight guy.
I just wish we could open up with some Public Enemy music.
Stealth.
Oh, there you go.
We should have called it the Stealth Show.
I got some Public Enemy on my. Let me get my phone. I got some 991. I called 911.
We will wrap this show up. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody.
Hey, wait.
What?
What about Batman's coming out in March, right? It's like, I guess we got another show to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the next show we should our wants and desires for the Batman movie. Okay. What we think, our predictions.
Our predictions sure to go wrong for the Batman movie.
Yeah, and maybe we should do predictions on who's going to be in the multiverse, the multiverse of madness.
Okay. All right, that sounds good.
Those are our predictions. What we want. Ooh, you better give it to me. Ooh. All right, see you guys.
I'm going to give it to him.
All right.
I'm going to give it to him.
We will do
Where's
that.
my Rough Riders at?
We see you next time on Pop Culture Clobberin' Time. And remember, keep your priorities straight, faith, family, comic books. We'll see you next time, guys.